Minash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in Ihdinas siratal mustaqim siratal ladzina an'amta 'alayhim ghayril maghdubi 'alayhim waladdallin. Amin. Lecture number 19, 9th class, and of course I will discuss with you such topic which you want to discuss in current scenario. What is going on in the world? Virus. Everywhere is the voice of the virus. Why this virus is here? So you wanted to know the structure of the virus at 9th class level. You start to study little structure of the virus, and then in upcoming sessions, in upcoming years, you will study full range of viruses with full chapter. Little information I am going to give you. What is the virus? Because when I was dividing the virus into classifying the living things into 5 kingdoms, so you may be asking, sir, what is the advantage of what is the virus? You may be thinking, sir, what is the virus? Because virus, where the virus you will adjust, in which kingdoms virus you will adjust. Dear students, virus we cannot adjust in any kingdom. Virus we cannot adjust in any kingdom. Reason is one, that virus is the thing between living and the non-living. You cannot say it is living, you cannot say non-living. You may be confused, you will be say, sir, prokaryote, eukaryote. No, prokaryote, eukaryote difference is something else, because one is with well-defined nuclear membrane, one is without well-defined nuclear membrane. In both cases, prokaryote, eukaryotes, they are living cells, they are not that. The virus is something else. You cannot classify into 5 kingdom system of classification, because virus still need a authentic proof that virus is living or non-living. Because I tell you, virus is strange, because when it is in the body, when it is inside the body mean when it is inside the host in your body and causing infection, the virus will be living structure. The virus will be a living structure. When virus is outside the living thing, it is in the crystal form. It is in the crystal form. So what is the problem of the virus? That the virus is not living, not non-living. So it has between living and non-living, because outside virus is in the form of non-living structure, mean it is in the form of the crystal when it is outside. When it is inside the body, inside our body causing infection, the virus is living. How it is living? Still it is unable to say that virus is living inside. You know, virus is getting the energy from our body, from the host. Biochemical machinery of the host is being used to remain alive the virus. Virus is not alive himself. Virus is alive only when it will use our energy. Mean over respiration reaction, over energy it will use, it will be. So what is the deficiency in the virus? That virus is unable to produce energy. No respiration take place. This is of course this is a tricky game, because no respiration take place. How it is living? This is the point, that without respiration how virus is living. But how virus is causing infection? Yes, of course. When virus got into our body, it becomes alive in the sense it start using our biochemical energy, mean it depending upon our respiration. It start replicating by using our respiration energy of mitochondria, and when it is outside it cannot produce energy because there is no respiration. When there is no respiration, no energy is being produced, and it will be in non-living state, mean it is in the form of the crystal state. Deficiency of the virus, that it is unable to reproduce, of course I will tell you. Technically, virus is at the borderline between the living thing and the non-living thing. Virus consists of 2 things only. One is the DNA and one is the protein. I am modifying the sentence. I am little changing the sentence. Virus consists of 2 things. One is the nucleic acid. One is the nucleic acid, and one is the nucleic acid, and one is the protein. So nucleic acid mean two type of nucleic acid present in the human bodies and in the living thing. One is a DNA, one is a RNA. Two type of nucleic acids are present. I will repeat, the DNA and the RNA. DNA is hereditary material, mean this is the material which is transmitted from the parent to the offspring. RNA is the material which will form the ribosomes. All upcoming session, upcoming chapters, cell structure and the functions, we are going to discuss these two terms again and again. DNA and RNA. DNA is hereditary material. Definition of hereditary material: the character which are transmitted from the parent to the offspring is by help of DNA. What is the definition of RNA? RNA produce the ribosomes. So DNA and RNA both technically are supposed to be present in the living thing, but they are not present in the human body. They are not present in the human body. Just see, if you see the virus, the structure of the virus I am discussing, and about the virus I will tell you there are two things in the virus. Number one, nucleic acid. Number two, protein. Important point I am telling you now, very important point. That is why virus is not non-living outside the body. What you will write in the paper, you are confused, because you will be thinking, sir, virus living where, non-living where? What we will write? We will say living, we will say non-living. Yes, answer I am giving you. Virus will be living inside the body. Okay, you are writing. The virus will be non-living outside the body. Clear? Clear? Virus is non-living outside the body. Virus is living inside the body. Mean it is living because it is using the energy from the host. It is not using the energy from the host. It is non-living crystal. Virus non-living format is not harmful. If coronavirus is in the park where I am standing now, so that is not harmful. When that coronavirus will go into the human body, it become our enemy. It become the parasite, and it becomes the harmful species. Nothing virus outside is harmful because it is non-living, just like a grass, just like any dead thing is there around you. Grass is living, but any dead thing is there. Any dead object, just like a, but you can refer any object. Virus just like that. Virus enters into our body, start receiving energy from our respiration, and then it starts using harmful attitude to causing infection, and it will cause infection. About the virus, one thing more I will tell you. They are composed of, once again I will be there, nucleic acid and the protein. The two type of the structures which are found in the virus. One is a nucleic acid, one is a protein. And nucleic acids are of two types, DNA and the RNA. Technically, we consist of DNA and the RNA both. We consist of DNA and RNA both. But I will tell you, overcomposition in our body, DNA plays role of hereditary material. RNA plays role of formation of formation of the ribosomes and the formation of something else, like that is the RNA. You know that as multiple function. One function I will tell you, it helps in the formation of ribosomes only. It helps in the formation of protein. So two sentences you will remember in reference to RNA. DNA consists of the message. Chromosomes, which are the major part in over the nucleus, that consists of the DNA. We are living because of DNA. DNA is there, the life is there. DNA is not there, life is not there. Now the question is, virus consists of two things, nucleic acid written and the protein. Important point I did not tell you yet. I am telling you now. Are you listening? Students of 9th class, are you listening this precious point, because this will elaborate the actual definition of the virus. Okay, you are listening. Nucleic acid, two type DNA, RNA. In the virus, only one type of nucleic acid will be present. So this is the breaking news. Mean in our body, in all living things, both DNA, RNA is present, but in the virus, only DNA or RNA. Only one thing will be present. Only one thing will be present. Either the DNA will be present or RNA will be present. Mean DNA and protein will be one type of the virus called DNA virus, and RNA and protein will be one type of the virus, mean RNA virus. Both DNA, RNA will not be present together in the virus. It is confirming that DNA present, RNA absent. I am talking about virus. If RNA present, DNA absent, I am talking about RNA virus. So what will happen due to absence of RNA or DNA? the virus become limited outside, unable. One question is still there. Sir, without DNA, life is impossible. If you are telling the life starts of the virus starts in the body, mean in the body when virus goes it becomes alive. So why it becomes alive if it is RNA virus? Yes, this is very significant question. If you are talking about RNA virus, I mean RNA virus will consist of how many things? Two things, RNA and protein, nucleoprotein. RNA virus is a nucleoprotein, mean one type of nucleic acid and the protein. Mean RNA is present and the protein is present. When RNA is present, protein is present, that is one type of the virus. DNA is present, protein is present, another type of the virus. Two type of nucleic acid, RNA, DNA will not be present in one time. So question, very significant question, I will repeat, that RNA virus, if for example that virus is RNA virus, mean it consists of RNA and the protein, when it become crystal non-living state outside, that is acceptable, but it enters into our body, it becomes alive because it gets the energy from our body and cause infection. How it is living inside the body? Because DNA is absent, because this is a RNA virus and RNA virus consists of RNA and the protein. How it is living? That is the significant question about the virus, and that is the basic reasoning to study structure of the virus here. If RNA present, DNA not present, okay? RNA virus in our body, RNA present, protein present, but DNA not present. But that virus is alive in our body, living inside the body. Why is it living? When one type of nucleic acid, it is just related with the virus, don't apply this formula in your body, okay? RNA will do its own function, very detailed, much detail. 4 years you will study about the RNA in the coming days, years, and the DNA also you will study in much detail. DNA is a hereditary material carrying your message of the body, but RNA is forming ribosomes and proteins with some other multiple functions. But in virus only, when RNA present, RNA will play dual role, mean two roles. One, DNA role, RNA role. This only exists in the virus, not in any other living thing. So virus is living inside only. Reason is that one type of nucleic acid is consist of RNA and the protein, but RNA playing role of DNA as well as RNA. Similarly, DNA virus inside our body. Now you will be questioning how the protein will be formed, because RNA forms significant molecule protein. Without protein formation, the viruses cannot replicate, mean virus cannot duplicate. What is the reason virus enters into our body? Only main reason is that virus will replicate, mean duplicate, will replicate, will reproduce. This reproduction of the virus is entering in our body, and in turn it is causing the infections in our body. So virus will cause infection, virus will replicate. If DNA virus is there, this is my last point of today. So you will be thinking, sir, okay, DNA is present, hereditary material present, messages are there, but how you will say how the protein will be formed? Because RNA forms the protein, because RNA is absent and RNA forms the protein, and without protein formation, how the virus will replicate? Then virus will not be parasite when it will not be able to replicate. I will speak that sentence once again. When DNA present, DNA is playing role of RNA as well as DNA. Only one type of nucleic acid with a dual role. RNA playing role of RNA and DNA. DNA playing role of DNA and RNA. So, this thing, students, precautionary measurement. When during study of other topics, don't apply this formula in any other living thing, including human body, because RNA will work separately, DNA will work separately, only in the virus. That's why virus is living inside and non-living outside. Lecture number 19, and you are revising the syllabus I told in the last lecture. And I hope first 2 chapters you will prepare well for the test of upcoming test. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.